In less than 6 months, Embraer received orders for more than 150 next-generation commercial aircraft valued at nearly $10 billion, one of the largest orders in the Brazilian manufacturer's history. This is not an analyst projection. It happened with Embraer in 2025. And here lies the significance. This is more than an impressive commercial feat. It signals that the global market is shifting fundamentally, and Embraer has positioned itself at the right place at the right time. The implications extend far beyond stock market numbers. Embraer announced the sale of 45 E195-E2 jets to Scandinavian Airlines under a contract valued at $4 billion. Weeks later, the company closed a deal to sell 50 E195-E2 aircraft to US-based Avelo Airlines for $4.4 billion. Additionally, LATAM will initially acquire 24 E195-E2 aircraft with options to purchase up to 50 more. Within months, Embraer secured major buyers in Europe, the United States, and Latin America, all for the same product, the E195-E2, a regional jet the company spent years perfecting. More recently, True Nord, a regional aircraft leasing specialist, placed a firm order with Embraer for 20 E195-E2 jets. The agreement, valued at $1.8 billion at list price, also includes purchase rights for up to 30 additional aircraft, including 20 new E195-E2s and 10 new E175-E1s. To understand why this represents a major business achievement requires context. Embraer closed 2024 with the highest revenue in its history, recording receipts of $35.4 billion, representing 36% growth compared to 2023. Yet 2024 was already an excellent year. Now, in 2025, the company is accelerating further. Total firm orders reached $26.3 billion, the largest backlog in the company's history, representing annual growth exceeding 40%. Translation: Embraer not only sells well, it has guaranteed work for years. But why are customers so interested? Strategy enters here. The commercial aviation segment lay dormant for years following the pandemic. Airlines had sufficient fleets, everything balanced. Then, gradually, conditions changed. Air traffic recovered significantly. The world traveled more. Canceled routes resumed. New routes opened. Airlines discovered they needed more aircraft to meet growing demand. Simultaneously, governments began requiring cleaner and more efficient fleets. The E195-E2 is precisely that. It offers reduced fuel consumption, is compatible with sustainable fuels, and meets increasingly stringent environmental regulations. Moreover, airlines are obsessed with profit margins. An aircraft that consumes less fuel, requires less maintenance, and carries more passengers yields greater profits. The E195-E2 delivers all of this. Avelo became the first U.S. airline to acquire the E195-E2, marking a significant milestone for Embraer in the American market. Historically, American carriers operated smaller models from the Brazilian manufacturer. This is monumental. The American market was dominated by Canada's Bombardier and Europe's Airbus. Embraer was long viewed as a second-tier alternative. For 2025, Embraer projects revenue between $7 and $7.5 billion and the delivery of up to 240 aircraft across commercial, executive, and defense segments, with adjusted free cash flow expected to exceed $200 million. The company is confident, very confident. However, multiple scenarios for the future are possible. If Embraer delivers all these orders on schedule, it will emerge from 2025 through 2027 as a revitalized giant. For the company, this means rising revenue, robust profits, and established presence in markets previously unfamiliar with Embraer. For airlines, it means more supplier options, increased price competition, and accelerated innovation. For passengers, it means modern fleets, expanded regional routes, and potentially more competitive fares. For Brazil, it represents economic recovery, employment across supply chains, and elevated international reputation. Nevertheless, significant risks exist. Embraer carries $29.7 billion in backlog, work spanning 4, 5, perhaps 6 years. The supply chain is fragmented. Components come from around the world. Any disruption, conflict, crisis, logistical problems could derail the timeline. The practical implications for different stakeholders are profound. Airlines must make quick decisions. Adding E195-E2s now means betting on regional jet technology for the next 25 to 30 years. This is not reversible. Component suppliers must expand capacity. This requires new investment and hiring, potentially benefiting local economies in regions with aerospace industries. The fundamental question remains: if Embraer delivers all these aircraft over the next 5 years, does this mark the end of European and American dominance in commercial aircraft manufacturing? Or is it merely a moment of brilliance before new crises arrive? A Brazilian company that nearly failed at various points in history now stands alongside Airbus and Boeing as a leading global player. The next 5 years will determine whether this gamble was worthwhile.